Hi, I'm Jonas from Whole Body Chiro. If you're looking for an exercise program to fix a chronically stiff back, then you're in the right video. I will combine uh, flexibility and strength exercises so you can gain full range of movement and strength in the most common sort of functional day-to-day movements like squatting, lunging, bending over to pick things up. So you actually get flexibility and strength in the day-to-day movements you need. So generally when you look at rehabbing an injury, the very first step is just to get moving. So say I've had a really antalgic, stiff back like this, I can't move up. The first thing you need to do is just get some movement, walking, stretching, that sort of thing. Next step is to start to increase the amount of load that your body can handle. So for a lower back like that, you might do planking for your core strength. You might use Roman chair like this to load your back and start to get confidence that you can put some weight through your back and you're fine. But next step, you might find that you're still stiff. You're struggling to bend over to put your socks on in the morning. It's hard to bend over and pick things off the floor, and you want to regain some mobility. And if you just do stretches and you get more and more flexible, if you don't have confidence that you can handle load in those positions, your body is still going to be reluctant to allow you to move freely. You're still going to have that underlying tension and inflexibility and uncertainty in going into those positions. So the way to get around that is to combine strength and flexibility work in the same exercise. So you building confidence that you can tolerate that load in the elongated full range joint position. So that's what today's exercises are focused on. Once you master that step, you can start to work on more classic strength exercises. You're moving into full length and then you're moving back up. That's more challenging. So today we're just going to focus on the elongating into stretch, hold, and then let go. Then the final step with rehabbing after an injury is to do more functional and dynamic exercises, plyometric, that sort of thing, but that's way down the track. So the first thing we're going to look at is if you need to pick something off the ground, it's handy to be able to have a lunge to do that safely. And with that same exercise, we're going to look at pelvic position. So often when you have guarding and tightness around your pelvis, your hip flexors get tight, so it pulls the pelvis forward like this, and then you get the pinch point in here where it gets chronically inflamed and overloaded. So as the hip flexor goes at the front are tight, they pull the pelvis forward like that, and these joints at the back, the facet joints here, get overloaded. So to elongate those muscles, we're going to use a lunge. So if I keep the back leg straight here, front knee shoots forward as far as we can, ideally until the hamstring is resting on the calf, and keep the back leg strength. I get a strong stretch here. Now, if I'm using some weights, I'm going to be able to get a lot deeper and get more load through those through the hip flexor and those structures. So slow, controlled. Then I pull me the full depth down, and then to be safe, since I'm just starting to do this exercise, let go of the weight, come back up, grab it again, and do another rep, slow and controlled. Focus on form. It's not about doing the heaviest weight ever, it's more about time under load and using the full range. So that's the first one. Will help you with your lunging down to grab something off the floor and the flexibility and pelvic alignment. Next up, we're going to use Jefferson's curl. So it's basically when you're stretching your spine segment by segment, starting at the top and then work through. So we're going to stretch all the small muscles around the spine, the joint capsule, and load everything bit by bit. So it looks something like this. Just tucking my neck, shoulders, and working the whole way down as low as you feel comfortable and safe. And then you can work your way back up and do it again. Weight makes it a lot more effective in getting a solid stretch to those structures. So slowly segment by segment. Imagine that stretch. If you feel that an area is a bit stiff, you can linger there for a bit. And then work your way down. If you stand on a raised surface like I'm doing now, if you're quite flexible, that way it can pull you down beyond the floor level sort of thing. If you have a Roman chair and you've been practicing that asymmetric hold, you can do the same thing there. Roll segment by segment, even with a weight, hugging a weight plate or something, to get that flexibility and load on the spine in different sort of curled angles. I prefer the Jefferson curl, the first one I showed you. Next up, we're going to work on some flexibility that's good for squatting. So if you have tight hamstrings or adductors, when you squat, they tend to pull your pelvis, they sort of tug on the tail on the sit bone and pull your pelvis back, and you sort of feel like you're going to lose your weight backwards. But if you have good flexibility in your hamstrings, you can keep the spine in neutral and get into that full depth. So you need flexible hamstring and adductors so that you can separate your knees out in this to compact the squat. So some exercises for that. So depending on how wide I stand with my legs here, I'm going to target different muscles. If the wider I am, the more I'm working on the adductors. The closer together, the more of a hamstring focus it is. So basically what we're going to do from here, keep the torso straight, so not curling like the previous one, and fold from the hips and forward. Starting quite wide here. Chest up, back straight. Yeah, starting to get the hamstring there. And just use that weight to pull me down. Let go of the weight. Bend down, pick it up. Do the same thing again. Later on, as you get stronger, more confident that your back and hamstring everything can hold it and handle it, then you can start to engage and lift back up again. But be quite slow and deliberate in that progression. You can spend quite a bit of time on just this eccentric phase that we're talking about today. You can also use the weight behind my neck like this. I like this when I'm just going wider for more the adductors. And then fold, hip bum backwards, and then pull me down. Next up, I'm going to work on more different angle of the adductors. So when you have your knees bent, you're not going to engage your hamstring as much. It'll be more just adductors. So to compress your squat in that bent position here, obviously the knee is bent, so it's less hamstring. For some people, more the adductors that limit them. So by sitting like this with wide knees, then I'm going to fold from the hip again, chest out. Use that weight to pull me in to stretch the inner thigh. Actively pushing the knees out here. Full depth there. Once again, do reps. Alright, next up, side bending. If you feel really stiff, sort of bending over to pick things up, then this exercise is good. Use a rubber band, stand on here. Get the opposite hand to reach across over the head, like a tricep stretch here. And I use that weight to pull me down to full stretch of those muscles on the side here. Can do a slight forward angle as well. So it gets slightly different muscles doing it that way. If you have a Roman chair, you'll be working on core strength like that, asymmetric holds. Just here to start with. Natural progression here would be to start to elongate down again for that stretch. And you can use a weight there as well to sort of pull you down into full range. Let go, then lift back up and do it again. So there you have it, my 5 sort of favorite exercises to regain functional movement where you feel flexible and strong. So you can use that in day-to-day life. I would recommend to do this once every 2 days, every second day. You want about 100 seconds of load per position. So say that it took me about 5 seconds to elongate down. So if I want to build up to a 20-second round, I do 4 rounds of that, lowering the weight 4 times, then have a bit of rest, come back for it to do 5 rounds, that adds up to 100. Or say that I do 6 reps instead, so builds up to about 30 seconds, I might do 3 rounds of that, and that'd be enough. It's not about going super heavy, but being deliberate, using that weight to really pull you into full length and engage engage the muscle through the full range and getting more flexibility and strength at the same time. That's how you get functional capacity. So try it out and good luck.